And she was dating, I don't know if I can say the opposite attract themselves. It's gonna be hell.
30s are the new 20s.
Are they though?
And even
Are they?
today we are answering your dilemmas. And as you can see, we have a new guest. Everyone, a round of applause for my best friend, Elvina.
Hi.
We've been best friends for 12 years strong. So I thought that for this dilemma, so she will be the best guest. Also because we are literally the opposite regarding relationship, regarding lifestyle. So it would be perfect to answer your dilemmas from two different point of view. Let's go, let's get cozy, and let's start with the dilemma. My best friend is dating someone I really don't like. I don't think he treats her well, but when I tried to bring it up, she got upset and we had a big argument. How do I support her without losing our friendship?
That's a tough one.
It really is a tough one. I want to see your point of view also because you can really relate.
There was a dramatic episode in our life when she was dating, I don't know if I can say we had like an argument because she was like accepting for the 100th time something very bad. We were in high school, so I was very dramatic, and I like changed my profile picture on WhatsApp with an inspirational sentence. So that's a tough one because obviously you look after your best friend. You want the best for her, but at the same time they can be blind. So I would say accept the fact that she has to grow in this relationship, and that maybe she grow out of it. Be supportive, be there if there is a problem, if she has some issues. But at the same time, you have to let them free to experiment and to understand, because you can't impose your opinion on them because they will not listen.
Yeah, actually, I completely agree. Also because I feel like every single one of us is very wise and actually know what she's willing to accept or not. However, when you get in a relationship, your mindset completely gets blown away by the feelings, by the love. For example, I'm pretty sure that she wanted me to leave that man. Like, she wanted me to leave this man, but she never told me you need to leave him. Because
yes,
when you do that, when you try to impose like a final destination, that I think will cause big argument, because you know that she's not ready to leave him. And you know that this will, one, upset her and will hit something deep into her and will then cause an argument. For me personally, when I decided to leave him, it was not because of something she said to me, because like she always was saying the same thing, but it was because at one point it just started to get too much.
Obviously, if there are like important red flags or like something really, really, really bad happens, dangerous. You have to speak up. Not only to her, but maybe also to people who hear him, to people who can give them help. Yeah, you have to be just there. You have to endure the pain, and you have to, I think, make them reflect.
But I have a question about it, because you were in the receiving hand of this, and I can understand how frustrating that will be also for you. So it's like, how can I continue to be supportive to her, even though this makes me feel bad? I keep seeing someone who I love keep making the same mistake and keep being hurt. How do you deal with that? Because at one point, it also becomes a problem for you.
Yes, I don't think that like an ultimatum is the answer to that. I think that you just have to be there, like some of support. And I don't believe the thing like, she prefers him, then she's not my best friend because she values him more than me. No, that's not it. These are two very different feelings, and you can compare them. Yeah, it's gonna be frustrating. You are gonna hate him or her. I tend to say him because I'm really into that. You are gonna try to make her see that there are problems, but the ultimate choice is hers. So you just have to be there for their support. Even if you're going to repeat, like you said, the things over and over and over again, at some point they will understand.
What's the best way to know if someone is actually compatible with you, rather than just being fun to hang out with? I'm worried about wasting time on the wrong person. I feel her so much. Actually, she's gonna she's the one in an 8-year-long relationship. But why am I even speaking right now?
Okay, so I don't think that, I think that there are people that we get along easier. But I don't think that I'm not a fan of also the theory that the opposite attracts themselves. It's going to be hell if you are in a relationship with someone that's the complete opposite for you. I don't know. There is this idea that the relationship has to be a little bit, the passion has to come from the arguments. Yeah, you don't have to share the same interest, but there has to be something in common.
Yeah.
If you are too much different, I think that it's gonna be a problem in the long run, because there has to be some core beliefs, I think, that you share.
Yeah, values.
Yes. It doesn't to be the hobbies or do you like dogs or cats? But a vision of life, I think.
I completely agree, especially for the values. I think those are the core of it. You can like someone, but if you realize that your values are simply different, then you're simply not gonna work, because he will jeopardize the whole foundation of a relationship. Because how will you be able to continue a relationship with someone who doesn't share your values? Values are something so important for each individual that if they contrast each other, they simply won't work. And even religion, I have kind of a different point of view, because I think religion is important, but if you guys have different religion, that doesn't mean that you're not compatible, because many religions, yeah, they're different, but the core value is the same. So yes, it will be a little bit more difficult to kind of compromise, but if the values of that religion and in what you believe in is the same, then I don't think it's such a problem.
I don't know, but because there are some values that are very different, and I'm also thinking a religious person and an atheist, for example. And I'm watching a lot of Grey's Anatomy, so if you're too, I'm talking about Jackson and April. I do think that religion is a complicated topic, because you have to compromise a lot, in the sense that there are some views that are different. Not the core belief, but how you use that belief in your everyday life. And for example, if you are someone who is very religious and wants, I don't know, to go to the church every Sunday, and you are with somebody that is an atheist and he doesn't want to go, how do you share that part of your life, and how in the future is going to affect you? Because if you want a long-term relationship, then maybe it's going to end in a in marriage or in a shared household. So maybe there are going to be children, and how do you manage that? I know that these are very far away questions, but at the same time, I think that is in a way important to be honest on that too, because you can love somebody, and if that part is really important to you, it's going to affect
everything. I was more thinking about if a Christian and a Muslim, because I'm dating also Muslim man, and I kind of religious. I do believe in God, okay, and that's enough for me. Even if we have different religions, I'm Christian. It was never also I'm young, so I was young. And it was never a problem, because if you believe in God, that's a shared value, okay? Even if the way we believe it is different. But yes, I never thought about the case in which, yes, I believe in God, and with someone who doesn't actually believe in it. That's actually, yes. I don't know if it can be considered as different values.
I am in that kind of relationship, because I am not I believe in God, but I'm not that religious. But he's not at all. Sometimes he doesn't understand some of my decisions based on that. Or for example, my family has a very Catholic background, so even if they are not the perfect Catholic, they do want the official rites, for example, marriage and so on. So my mom hopes for a marriage in church, and that and we discussed about it, obviously, and he has changed his mind, because in the beginning he was really against it. That was like, okay, so I'm gonna have to figure a way out. But the more we went on, and the more I realized that it was important for me, not just because of my beliefs, but also because it's important, for me to make my family happy, and he doesn't care that much. So maybe he's going to swear in his mind all the time, but he's going to the altar.
He's doing it.
You have to be with someone who is comfortable with making this choice, because like if it's important for me to do it in church, maybe it's important for the other person not to do that in the church, because he's really against it. So yeah, religion is a difficult topic, and I don't think that it has to be discussed like first date. But when things are becoming more serious, I think that there has to be a discussion on that.
Yeah, I completely agree.
So yeah, back to the question, because as always, we went off topic.
How do you think you're actually compatible?
Okay, first like months, okay, it's just having fun and silly things, okay, but then you get to know each other, and if you are like, okay, I like him, but I don't really like this, or I don't really like that, if something that can be worked on, then sure, do it. But if you do the work and then it's always like that, then yeah, maybe yes, because again, there has to be some shared values.
I love my boyfriend, but sometimes I feel like he doesn't put effort into how he looks when we go out. I don't want to sound rude, but how do I tell him that I'd like him to dress up a bit more when we go on dates?
Well, you have the right to stay, to live with someone, to go out with someone dressed nicely. I'm thinking if it has ever been an issue in my relationship. I don't think so. Okay, yes. Once there is this episode, like we were going to a party with my family, because my sister was, I don't remember if she graduated or if it was an engagement party. I don't remember. Okay. It was something official. And he dressed up with a white t-shirt. Like trousers, jeans, and a white t-shirt, but the white t-shirt wasn't really flattering. I remember like talking to him and saying, okay, but maybe next time you could have wore a camicia.
Button up.
Okay, button up. So again, maybe I'm a little repetitive, but speak up, because he may not be aware of the fact that it is so important for you. It's the same thing. You're gonna resent him because you think that not that he does it on purpose, but he doesn't put too much effort, when maybe he's just like an easygoing type of person, so he doesn't really care that much.
It may actually be a fun thing together to style each other, okay, let me style you, or maybe let's go shopping. I don't know.
Yes.
How do you think about, like, have you ever done something like this?
Not really, because he is like very self-conscious about this topic. Okay. So he doesn't want to like interfere with my decision about dressing and choosing outfits and so on. So he has never told me like, you can't wear these because I don't think it flatters you, or but anyway. We have to say that when we go out shopping, he sometimes chooses stuff for me that I would never choose. Like, he's my personal assistant when we go out shopping, because he makes bolder decisions. And we had kind of discussion about this, because on the other hand, I make more remarks about that. So, for example, like you want to wear this, but it makes you look old, or but this color doesn't really fit you. And most of the time, he's okay with that, but I think that it's something I should work on.
But how? Like, do you think that sometimes there's just a moment in which you have to upset that your boyfriend has a different sense of style than you, and just let it go?
I think that there is a compromise. So like, accept the fact that there is a different sense of style, and that if he wants to wear a colorful button up instead of a black one like I would do, I have to accept that. But at the same time, if there is a special occasion and you want him to be, or even if you want him to dress nicer, I think you have to tell them. And work out a compromise.
Exactly. I always thought my 20s would be my glow up decade, but instead, I'm spending way too much on skincare and feeling worse about my appearance. Is it normal to feel like you're getting uglier as you get older, or am I just in my head?
Both of them are actually true.
I'm gonna get personal, and a lot of things that I'm gonna say, I know they're not rational, but it's something that I'm working on, and it's like this fear of growing up. I don't know, but the idea of getting 30, even if I just know the 30s are the new 20s. I just know that.
Are they though?
And even
Are they?
even when I'm 40, like it's still young. Like I know that 40 is still young, but the idea of to be grown, to look at myself, and not right now, I see a difference. When we were kids, we always wanted to grow up. Then you get old, and it's like, oh my god, I wish I was 12 again, and then. So I can really relate with this feeling. It becomes real to you to realize that, oh, actually, one day I will be old. Actually, one day I will be standing up from my bed and have a bed-ache. I will be struggling walking. Like, I will be old. That's a reality. It's like you have this mind of forever, yeah, I'm gonna be. No, you're actually getting old. Like, that's the phase. You look back at teenagers and you're like, now I'm the auntie. I don't know how to answer this question because I've been going through it like literally like every single day. I don't know if I feel uglier. When you look back at your picture, you know that when in those years you thought you were ugly.
Yes.
Or you thought you were healthier, or you thought you were awkward or everything. And then you look back and you're like, oh my God, look how beautiful I was. Look how gorgeous. Look at my skin. Look at this. And you don't realize it. This thing, this cycle is still going because you look at yourself and you think, oh, I'm ugly, or I'm old. In 10 years, you will look back at the picture of you today and you will be,
Yes.
oh my God, look how gorgeous I was.
That actually happened to me. I was going on Google Photo. I found a photo that like a photo shoot because like we were that kind of people. And in that day, I really thought that I was ugly because my hair weren't like properly done. And also compared to like the majority of our group friend was really skinny. And like when I saw that photo, I said, oh, I actually did look nice. And I was worried about it all the time that day. I don't really like to be photographed. So I was worried about that during every photo we took that day. And yes, it's a really bad perception of ourselves. I am 26. I'm getting old. I don't necessarily think that I am uglier than when I was a teenager. But again, when I was a teenager, I was a little overweight and I didn't care that much about my appearance. Yeah, and in that sense, the answer to that is, yeah, you're going to glow up in your 20s. Don't be too much obsessed with it, because as like everything else, it's a phase. And I think that the more you reflect on yourself and the more you grow up, the more you feel confident in yourself, even if you are always gonna like doubt it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if you answered.
Believe the moment. Like, it's not in your head, it's in every single one of us. Like, everyone is thinking the same thing, okay? It's not just you. But I think the thing is, live the moment, because you were thinking this way even 10 years ago. And look at you now. And you're going to think the same way 10 years from now. So just decide, you just want to keep living, or like keep living your days worried, or just living it, because nothing's going to change. It's just your mindset, I think, that is going to change. You're going to get old, even older than you are right now.
Yeah.
You just have to embrace it or see it as an enemy. I've been in a relationship for 4 years now. And while things are great, sometimes I worry about it getting too comfortable. How do you keep the spark alive after being with someone for so long? I don't really...
What do you think it is?
To keep the spark. So, okay. I've never been in a... Okay, that sounds so sad the way I was trying to say it, but I've never been in a healthy, calm, like quiet relationship. I've always been in kind of turbulent drama relationship. And I thought that that's how a relationship should be in order to feel something, in order to feel like spark. it's not like that. You should feel serene with someone. That is something that I really had to learn, because sometimes I was even myself picking fights in order to feel that spark in the relationship, because I was not used to just being okay or just be like up in a quiet place. I thought that that was when the relationship would be stagnant, where it's the opposite. However, since I never been with someone for more than a few months, I've never reached a point in which I'm very comfortable with someone in such a way in which I feel like I'm so serene that now one of my concern is how to pick the spark up. Because in my mind, the spark was always up because we were always fighting. Rationally, wisely, I could give some advice on it, but I can't give advice on something that I truly actually don't know. But I'm curious to learn your point of view on this one, because an 8-year relationship, you saw each other grow up. Like,
Yes.
Like you saw each other grow up. So even that, maybe, like it was not always like,
Yes.
You change in
We really did change, although like some things have been the same forever. Also, the view of the relationship, we are not that jealous of one another. We do not check phones. We do not we spend time together, but we also spend time alone. And I think that this one is a really underrated like piece of advice, but do take the time with yourself, because again, if you do everything like it is true that you're a couple, but at the same time, you're not the same human being, and you don't have to be the same human being. And I think that having something for yourself is actually like good for you, but also for the relationship, because then you have something like a personal space that you can talk about,
sure.
You can share, but at the same time, you can also decide to keep it like private, and that's okay. But then I think that make the time to like show up in your relationship. Don't give anything for granted, in the sense that, okay, I am with this person. I've been with this person for a while. You can get comfortable. For example, at the beginning of my relationship, I was always like, when I went out, I had to fix everything, like my hair. I was always let's change the structure. I was always like, I had makeup on. Now, after 8 years, he like sees me without makeup, obviously, with messy hair. He has seen me like in every nuance.
Sorry for the change of lighting, but it was starting to get a little bit dark. So
we are in Sweden right now.
Bedroom in Italy anymore. Right now we are in our Sweden apartment, very international.
Yes.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you something though. Was there any time in which in your relationship you felt like, since you know already, like the structure of your relationship being together but not being the same person, you always be like that. But was there any moment, even though the relationship was healthy, in which you felt like you needed to relight the spark, or that you were getting too comfortable, even bored sometimes?
Yes, there was, because he's the first that I've been in a serious relationship with. So there was some doubt at a certain point of, did I put myself in a long-term relationship too soon? Is there anything else out there to explore? But again, the answer for me was no, in the sense that, first of all, even if it is a long-term relationship, it can always be broken. Even when you're married, you can get divorced. Also, the fact that we have worked to reach a certain level of comfortableness.
Yes, it is.
So it's a good sensation when you have someone that understands you and understands your limits or your defects, but also the good parts. So you really get to enjoy the time together. Yes, there was a very difficult period of time in which we have had some difficulties from this point of view. And the key is to just like take the time for yourself as a couple. So really spend time together, doing new things. For us, it was a date at the mall, but it was a very big one near the lake, and we spent all the day together, and it was really cute because it was something outside our routine. So yeah, really put the effort to get to know the other person, spend time and realize that, okay, maybe we are a little bored because we have been
in the same routine over
yes,
and over again.
absolutely. And then like, okay, let's find some us time.
My friend and I have completely different body types, and every time we go shopping, she loves to point out how jealous she is of my curves. It's awkward because she makes me feel self-conscious, and then she feels bad and I feel bad. How do I tell her to stop the backhanded compliments without sounding like a drama queen?
Girl, you have to say that. Yes, you have to, because it's something that it's making you uncomfortable. And if she is a good friend, not even a good friend, if she is an acceptable person, she will stop it. You don't even have to explain it that much. You can just say, hey, I'm not really happy about your comments. I know you don't mean them in a hurtful way, but at the same time, they make me not comfortable. So please stop.
And also, if you're a bigger girl or a bigger boy and you're a friend, like it is not normal to be around friends that make you feel self-conscious with your body. Like it's just not normal. It's not a good friendship are not like this. For example, I always all my life been the bigger, and I have different set of friends. Okay. Some of them made me feel very self-conscious, and it's not even about criticizing openly, but it's the backhanded compliments or the backhanded opinions. And I thought that was normal. I really thought that was simply normal, but it is not. Because when you find your friend, like she's my best friend, but we also share a friend group, okay?
Yes.
And we'll be friends for, again, 12 years. And never, ever, like I promise you, never in 12 years of me fluctuating with my weight, of me even complaining with my weight, I've never felt this type of way. Our bodies is kind of a taboo topic. And it is okay if your friend feels self-conscious about her figure, or maybe she wants to lose weight, but your friend is slimmer than you. Sometimes you can tell when she says something to kind of backhand you, but you can also tell when she says something because she's literally genuine, or because she's thinking about herself. We've been friends for 12 years. We've been gone through this so many times.
Yes.
And we've been having conversation about, oh, maybe I want to lose a little bit of this because I want to be active with that and that. But it's the meaning of the conversation. When someone tells you, I want to lose weight, you can tell when she's saying it because she thinks that being big is just the worst thing in life. Or when she said it because she just wants to achieve a goal for herself. She wants to feel more active. She just wants something to herself. So it has nothing to do with the perception that she has of you, or
Yes.
she has a other bigger person, and everything to do with them. And I feel like this is the game changer, where you start to kind of understand when someone says something, what is their point of view. So I don't know about, you're telling me that she's saying backhanded compliments. It may also be, and I'm trying to be the devil's advocate, but it also may also be that she simply is very secure. The very secure people kind of project things different ways. And this may be one of it, but most of the time, you are not the problem. Like, it's them. Literally, it's just them projecting. But in this case, as Elvira said, the best thing to do is say it, especially with friends. Being in this kind of, I'm not saying it, but I'm thinking it, it will just make you resent them more and more and more. And maybe they're not even aware of it.
Yes, that's pretty much the point. And I am a strong advocate of the fact that we cannot read each other's mind. So if there is a problem, speak up.
Exactly.
Because maybe someone is just like accustomed to make some remarks on body types or on clothing. Yes. So maybe they are not even aware of the fact that it can be hurtful. It's not going to be easy because this is something that touches something deep inside, and we are not comfortable when we are going like around this stuff, but it has to be done.
That's it for today's dilemma. Thank you so much for sending this to us. If you want to participate maybe in the next video, make sure to subscribe over here and also follow me on my Instagram, because that's where I put all my polls and my Google Drive sheet, so you can actually ask your question. Thank you so much for my bestie.
Thank you too.
You can find her on her page. What's the name of the page?
It's in Italian. It's Dentro la pagina, and we talk about books and writing.
Thank you so much for watching and for staying so long.
Thank you
so much. Bye.